Yo, how you going? This lady Chann, none less. Yeah, and welcome to Come Box with Chann. We managed to do it. We've had technical difficulties, but you know, such is fucking life around here, isn't it? I'm trying to get the greatest screen of how we was. All right, we was split just a minute ago. How does everyone knows about the technicalities of Chann? We're raw. We're live and we're uncut around here. No one went to journalism school, so you know. Yeah. Right, guys. I am super fucking gassed because I am joined by just like we've got one more person who's late, but allow him. He's a pro boxer, Ohara Davies, and he's actually in camp and he's just finishing up sparring. So he's going to go home. He's going to go home and he'll be joining us shortly. So who I have on the panel is Andy. If Elite, evoke Elite. Yeah. Hi, Andy.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not too bad, babe. Thank you for joining me. And we've got another guest.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Fucking hell. We've got another guest, a colleague as well, because you know any boxing channel is a colleague of mine. So we have got the Pat Jermaine from the Pound for Pound, or P4P if you want to shorten it in boxing terminology, boxing show.
Thank you very much, Chann, for having me on.
Oh,
pleasure.
Thanks for joining me, man. I reached out and everybody was cooperating. I didn't have to pay you. I didn't have to turn up on you lot and threaten your lives.
I thought you were paying me.
You'll pay me. You'd be paying me for our bet, mate. So just get your money out, Andy. Get your money out. Get it ready. My bank account's ready for it. So, guys, what we're going to chop it up about is this is the pre predictions, bare pre's of Usyk and Joyce, because it's looking like that they're going to be fighting for the interim belt. Forgive me, is it the WBO interim or is it the WBC interim? WBC.
It's WBO.
WBO. It's the WBO.
Yeah.
Okay, and Joshua's going to be fighting for the WBC, which Tyson Fury holds. Okay. All right, so let's chop it up. Who wants to start first, or do you want Miss Gobby to start first, or?
Well, what do you want? You want a prediction? You want to know?
We want to just talk about them as fighters, and then we want to talk about where do we see this fight? How do we see it going, basically, and how? And then we'll have a prediction. We'll start with you, Andy.
My view is, I think Joyce, if he puts the pressure on, shuts him down with his footwork, uses the jab, and he's got an effective jab. He's not an amateur no more. They're both professional boxers now. Their outset and their performances are going to be totally different now. But he's got good footwork. But when you get hit and it connects, unfortunately, the energy is going to get taken out of them feet. And then once you stop moving, then what happens? How does he react? What does he do? Where Joyce,
Usyk's not moving. Usyk dances. He's a ballroom dancer, Andy.
Yeah,
when does Usyk ever stop moving? To be fair,
but he gets out of the way. But what I'm saying is, you can eliminate that by catching him with a good shot. If you can catch him with a good shot, then you're going to drain the energy out of his legs. And then what happens then? What's Usyk got then against the heavyweight? Yeah, I don't think he carries the power. As he was a good cruiser, but as a heavy, I don't think he's got the power to do anything. You know, he's got an engine. He's got good foot movement. He can keep going, but he hasn't been tested. You know, when he's in the trench, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I think Joe's going to take him there. Joe's just got to cut him down, use the jab, get in, and then spoil him. Sit on him, use his weight, just drain him. Drain him with his weight.
He's going to have to clench him up. I agree. Usyk, an amazing cruiserweight, undefeated, unified. If I'm not wrong, he cleared up the whole of that division. Obviously, coming from an Olympic background as well, Usyk, right? So, the pedigree's there. Sometimes I weigh that in, and sometimes I weigh that out because, people like, who was the pedigree one that lost? Was it with
Lomachenko?
Garcia? Was it Garcia with Garcia and Campbell? Campbell,
yeah.
He's from Olympic stock, but I'm sorry, just because you're an Olympian, it doesn't mean that you just come through and smash the place up. Like sometimes it means everything, and sometimes it means not that much, depending on what you do with that accolade. To be fair,
I think having a good amateur background, it puts you on that platform. But when you get into the elite of the pro game, if you don't change and become that elite fighter, then you're going to struggle against elite professional fighters.
Yeah, and you'll just be a struggling fighter with Olympic medals.
Yeah.
It's like having a freedom pass, but not allowed to. No, it's like having an Uber pass. You could get on any Uber, but you choose to just get on buses.
Yeah. There's boxers out there that haven't had many amateur fights. They haven't come from a good pedigree, and they've become tremendous professional fighters.
Well, that's like the white collar fighters. And
my honest opinion of white collar is I've seen what white collar do, and it's nothing compared to the amateurs.
Yeah,
it's a totally different league. Totally different league.
I think Wardley is come from that background.
I'm not 100%.
I believe Fabio Wardley has come from that background. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing all right. So it's just down to the individual and what the individual wants to do and what route they want to take it to. But back to Usyk. So my point is with Usyk, we saw him with Chisora. All right, we saw him with the geezer when he made his debut as a heavyweight. It wasn't the best debut, but I think people slandered him a bit more than he deserved. Like, he got the win. I mean, that guy, it was Chaz Witherspoon.
Yeah, Chaz Witherspoon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he took the fight at like 2 weeks' notice. He ain't off stock anyway. But what did people really want Usyk to really do? Like, he got the win and he won, and he didn't get battered. He didn't get pummeled. He actually made Witherspoon look like a withering spoon. Yeah, so you know what I mean? So I give him credit where it's due, but coming into the heavyweight game, his footwork, which I noticed with Chisora, I predicted that he was going to dance around Chisora. If Chisora didn't smack him up, cut off that ring and really corner him and pummel him, he was going to dance. And I predicted initially that Usyk was going to win. But because Mr. Bloody David Hay could sell grass to a fucking mole, yeah, and sand to a desert rat, yeah, I believed it. I was that mole and I was that fucking desert rat. I bought everything. I was like, yeah, this is a new Chisora. Usyk ain't got it. Yeah, Usyk's not going to be able to do it. But I changed my prediction. But I did say, if he doesn't cut off the ring and allows Usyk to dance around him, Usyk will just tag him and score points. If it goes all the way to points, Usyk,
that's the way he fights.
It's definitely, he goes the distance. He's definitely not going to knock out Chisora. But if it goes to points, sorry, Chisora, it's not going to go in your favour. Go on, Jermaine.
I think Derek punched himself out quite early in that fight.
He gassed out.
He gassed out.
Was wild.
He was wild. He's trying to get him out early. I think if he would have just tried to stay with him, obviously the first couple of rounds might start the fight up a bit slow. But I think if he pressed on maybe in middle rounds, I think he probably might be able to get him out of there.
5'6".
Yeah, if he pushed him about 5'6".
Yeah.
His
Stepped up a
engine,
bit.
his engine. Chisora, it baffles me because he's got a very good engine, but he doesn't know when to apply full throttle and then to pull back. So he goes like from 0 to 60 and then straight to 100. And then instead of going back to like 60, you just gas out and he's back to 0. So when he did get Usyk in compromising positions, he by the time he got him in the corners and stuff like that, he was tired. So Usyk was like, oh, so I'll just dance around this way. Do you know what I mean? And get out of the danger zone. And that happened time and time and time until Derek was basically chasing Chisora. And the chasing alone was gassing him out. So he couldn't even... When he did score the blows, Usyk felt them. But it just wasn't enough. So I give credit to Usyk a bit as well because he did feel them. He didn't go down. Fair enough, if he probably got a good old combo, he definitely would have. But that's what makes him an elite boxer, that he knows how to get out of the danger zone and use his pros to be able to move out the way. And he did that. And Derek didn't have any other game plan except for, come on, because at the end of the day, Derek is not a tech-savvy boxer. He's a brawler. He's a fighter. He ain't really a boxer, and he'll say that himself. So he hasn't really got an amazing techers. His thing is to try and annihilate, to try and get you a brawl. But it hasn't worked a lot in Derek's favour because he's already at 10 losses and he's becoming like, you know, the pay-per-view elite journeyman.
So what Derek didn't have, Joyce has got. Joyce has got a jab.
Yeah,
he can cut the ring down. He can step. He doesn't lunge in. He strikes, he steps, and he breaks it down. He breaks it down. He breaks it down. Then the things that Joyce has to learn to do is when he gets onto him is to lean on him and drain the energy out of him, drain him. So later on in the rounds, he hasn't got that feel to push his legs around. Yeah. And if he loses, if he becomes stagnant, that's it. He's a target, isn't he? He's a sitting target. What has he got then?
But that's the thing where Joyce, he's got decent footwork. His hands are mad slow. He can get to you, but his hands are mad slow.
But look at the last fight he had against Triple D. Look at the jab.
Daniel's slow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fair enough. But that jab. But that jab was a good jab. But you can't take that away from him.
No, his jab's amazing. If he gets you with the jab. But what I'm saying is him fighting Triple D is a different fight in Usyk. Daniel is a flat-footed, plants his feet. Yeah. He ain't on the balls of his feet. So it's easy to get him and jab him and F him up, as we saw. Usyk, it's going to be a bit harder. Do you understand what? So Usyk's quite happy to fight you at long range. Because
the point I'm making about Triple D is it wasn't that he was fighting Triple D. Is Joyce is what he's got. It doesn't matter who was in front of him. Yeah. He has got that jab. Yeah. So we know he's got that jab, and obviously he's going to work more on it. We know that he can step and break the range down. We know he can spoil. So if he rehearses that, he's already shown us that he can do it. He just now needs to apply that to the game.
Yeah, and he said he will be just religiously sparring with southpaws because that's what he's just going to have to do.
Yeah. All day long. Yeah, he's got to take Usyk's foot away. If he takes his lead foot away and makes Usyk makes his foot onto the inside of him, he's got that solid shot all day long. And he's got to trap his foot.
Yeah, and corner him.
I believe he will. I believe he'll cut the ring down and corner him. I know Joe very well. Obviously, I went to school with Joe back when we was growing up. Back when he was growing up, he was a very fit guy. He used to do cross countries and stuff like that. And you can see in the boxing ring, he can go for 10, 12 rounds
all day long.
He can go 15 rounds.
That's the difference.
And that's the difference between him and Chisora. Chisora's blowout. This guy will go for if he needs to go to 12 rounds, he will go to 12 rounds to get that win. And I just believe that with his punching power, I think he can stop Usyk. Honestly, I honestly believe he can stop Usyk.
What do they say? What do they say in the heavyweight division? It's that one
just takes one punch.
And Joyce, he's got it. He's got that punch. He connects that.
He's got a few of them.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he's got a few of them. Where would you see that Usyk could win?
On points. By boxing. Yeah. I can't see him. For me, Usyk doesn't stop him. He doesn't have the punching power.
No, he doesn't have the punching power.
He hasn't got the punching power. So the only way for me he can win is on points. By decision.
On the back foot, lot of movement, popping the jab out, scoring the points, and getting out of range. Come back in, score the points, get out of range. And he's got to do that for every single round.
Yeah. And not get caught, basically.
So I think Joyce will have to walk down and wear shots from 1 to maybe 4, 1 to the 5th round. He'll have to wear high guard, take things on the glove, on the elbows, keep walking forward, keep pressuring him, shut his distance down. Come 5, 6, 7, then we need to switch it up. Then we need to start letting the leather go. That's what I'd be saying to him if I was his coach.
So you reckon that? Sorry, go, Jermaine.
I believe. Obviously, you watched the Zora fight. Zora had no respect for Usyk's power. He kept coming forward, and I believe that's what Joe will do. He'll have no respect for Usyk's power. He'll just keep coming at him, hoping to land that one shot will put him away. And I honestly do believe that he'll win that fight.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw their first fight where they fought in, I don't know, was it World Series or something like that?
Yeah, I see that.
Rounder. Yeah, and Joe Joyce did still quite well. He did still shake up Usyk in a couple of those 5 rounds.
And you got to look at the experience. You got to look at the experience of Joe. Yeah, Joe, and what the experience of Usyk's experience was up there. Joe was down here, but Joe, he held his own. He held his own.
He held his ground. I'll give him that. Yeah. So I'm really excited if this fight does actually happen. What other ways could you see it going pear-shaped? I feel that. So what do you feel about Usyk in this weight cap? Do you think he belongs in this weight cap, or do you reckon he could just dominate Bridgerweight instead? He's
not for the heavyweight division.
He's going to lose his own.
You're messing around with people who are walking around at that weight as natural people who have got 18 stone of power, and most people in the heavyweight division can punch. Usyk's not that frame. He's not that frame of a man. So if he could bulk up. But I think
he did a little bit. He did a little bit for Chisora, but I think he was like not a lot. He was in the top end of the 16 stone bracket, but Chisora still come in at like 18 stone. Still came in at 18 stone, and that was a svelte Chisora at 18 stone. Like he was at the low end of 18. I can't remember. I had it before. I can't remember the exact weight, but I remember that was the best that I'd actually seen Chisora. But I mean, I don't think he's going to be undefeated for much longer in this weight cap. I understand why he had to go up a weight cap, because I mean he's done he's done everything he can do. But then do you think then he should just settle for the Bridgerweight, or do you think after a loss he will then decide, let me go to Bridger, or is it an ego thing like, oh, I'm never going to go to Bridgerweight? What do you think?
I think. Go on, Jim. Go on.
I had this conversation with my guy from Pound for Pound Boxing, Nando. He believes that Usyk will become a heavyweight world champion. I said the only way he can become a world champion is if someone vacates their belts and
everyone drops out, mate.
Yeah, and he fights someone like a Joseph Parker who's not going to have that elusive knockout punch. That's the only way I can see him potentially becoming world champion. If he gets in there with a Joshua, a Fury, a Deontay Wilder, someone, a Dillian White, a big puncher, I believe he goes to sleep. That's just my honest opinion.
Me too. So I just hope that he's ready to. Somebody's gotta go.
Do you know a fight I'd like to see is him against Povetkin?
Well, that'd be a great fight.
That would be a fight, because Povetkin likes pressure. He likes putting it on you. He likes shutting things down. He's got all them short uppercuts. Body is all short and sharp. And I think the power of him, that would be the test for him for heavyweights.
Because they're mates, aren't they? Or is it him and Lomachenko? They're all mates, aren't they?
Lomachenko,
mates. Lomachenko. Yeah. yeah. Oh God, yeah, that would be a good matchup. But we don't know where Povetkin's going to be in a bit. Anyway, we don't know if he's going to be victorious against Gill or if he's going to be the loser. So I really don't know how that's going to fare. But it's looking pretty positive to see Usyk with Joyce. I've been watching Joyce and Sandra. I'd like to get them. Do you reckon we could get them on? I'd like to get him on, man.
I've been trying a while. I mean, I've been trying, especially with Sam. I've been trying to get Sam on. He's been a bit busy, obviously, with Florian Marku and a few other of his fighters. But hopefully we can get him on.
Yeah, at some point. Do you know what I mean? So basically, we've all already just said Usyk don't have a chance in hell.
the only way Usyk's going to win is points.
Prediction's done. Yeah. See you later.
Points or Joyce. Joe gets an injury. If Joe gets an injury and they pull him out, or it's on points. Yeah, an eye injury, a bad cut.
Yeah, no, Joey got a fucking bad cut from Usyk. Well, you never know.
Clash
of heads, you never know. Yeah,
clash of heads.
Elbows.
Yeah, clash of heads.
You never know.
I just had a question in my head about. All right, yeah. So obviously, Joyce. This is kind of fast tracked him because he's older. He's already 35, probably going to be 36 this year. Where do if he does lose against Usyk, is this really going to be really detrimental to his career because of his age?
It's hard to answer that because how can you rebuild him? He's 35. Can the changes be made? Who's out there for him? Who's out there? If he loses this fight, what channels does he go? Does he wait for? Would he get Dylan White against the Povetkin? Whoever wins out of that, could he get that?
Maybe because he's pretty high ranked in the. But then his ranking would probably go down.
Ranking would probably go down. Yeah.
And then what's happening with Triple D? Where does that lie? Is that a rematch? Would that happen again? Is that the way back?
There would be no reason to rematch that.
But it's just to get him back on the platform. Yeah. Would they go down that way to get him on the platform again?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
It probably fights. I don't know. Maybe someone who's just outside of championship credentials. Maybe I don't know.
And out of the top 15, they'd have to drop into
maybe a Michael Hunter or something like that from the American fighter. Maybe
because really Michael Hunter is naturally a cruiserweight anyway.
Yeah.
So they're of similar build anyway, I guess. But but then that rebuilding takes another couple years. Because everybody will be
37.
Yeah, it'd be 37, 38, and everybody would be doing their mandatories, doing their thing. He'd be frozen out for a couple of years. I think he has to really win this fight.